It's good to have you back. Let's bring you this now. According to the UN AIDS, there were almost 700,000 HIV-related deaths just last year. And as we mark World AIDS Day, the founding director of Nkosi's Haven, Gail Johnson, joins us. Gail fostered 12-year-old Nkosi Johnson, who passed away from an AIDS-related illness back in 2001. Gail, it's such a pleasure and honor to be speaking to you. I think I was a baby when I first saw you, on TV. Very young in primary school. Here we are having a conversation, and I appreciate your time this morning. But we're talking about, an AIDS-related conversation, but in the age and era of COVID-19. How would you say, conversations, awareness, as well as testing when it comes to HIV and AIDS have been throughout this past, couple of months during COVID?
The steps and bounds have been phenomenal in treatment, and it's widely accessible. And I love the fact that people are living, and as long as they don't default. But the scary thing is that people are still getting infected, and that's a worrying, because there's also PrEP now, which is sort of pre-exposure prophylactic treatment. But yes, one does the prevention of mother-to-child transmission has been superb, and those involved have to be congratulated unbelievably. But yes, it's still happening.
Right. But with that being said, are you satisfied with the level of awareness around HIV and AIDS in an era of COVID? Because some do say that it seems the pandemic has shunned the spotlight away from conversations such as TB, cancer, HIV, because obviously, our world leaders are trying to, ramble their way to solutions around, finding ways to have a COVID-free, if I could say, world or even a country. But are you satisfied with the awareness raised on HIV and AIDS during this pandemic?
No, I think the level has dropped considerably, but at the same time, we have been exposed to HIV/AIDS for 40 years. It's actually the 40th anniversary this year since AIDS manifested, and along comes COVID, and I think because of the difference in the modes of transmission and the need to do fast, quick interventions with COVID, AIDS had to take a back seat. Yeah. It's a worry because people sort of thought, AIDS isn't here anymore. It is, it definitely is. But I think the need to do speedily and panic mode interventions with COVID was important.
Right.
It's a different transmission. You can get COVID sitting in a taxi, in a restaurant, going shopping, and that had to be looked at. HIV/AIDS takes a physical action, and we all know how it's transmitted. So, I think COVID had to take the role and lead from an intervention point of view.
Absolutely. And we just have it on our TV screen right now that, the theme for for this year in terms of World AIDS Day, focusing on ending inequalities, ending AIDS, as well as ending pandemics. As Nkosi's Haven, what are you doing this year to continue, of course, this conversation on HIV and AIDS, safe sex practices, testing, as well as just general awareness around HIV and AIDS? What are you doing this year?
We are celebrating World AIDS Day on Saturday because it's a bit chaotic today. My moms and my residents and my children who are on antiretroviral get their meds. They're not defaulting. They are behaving, well, sort of. And we are now, funnily enough, concentrating on COVID as well, in as much as we test our residents every 2 weeks. We've got rapid saliva tests. We're getting all our residents vaccinated. So even Nkosi's Haven is looking at COVID interventions Whereas with we're safe. We're safe with our residents who are HIV positive. They are complying. They go for their tests, regular blood tests.
Yeah.
They take their meds, practice DOT. So we're actually doing COVID panic as well.
Well, Gail, I appreciate you talking to us this morning and also encouraging, those who are affected or, indirectly affected, or just South Africans in general, to continue this conversation around, World AIDS Day, and also doing your part to ensure that even the babies and the mamas at Nkosi's Haven play their part in ensuring that, of course, they do stay safe in this pandemic. That's